Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the 7-Minute Takeover, where we chat all things acquisitions. We're your hosts. I'm Liz Prey.
I'm Eamon Gamble.
Today we're chatting about an acquisition accelerator, growth through acquisition. It's a little bit different from our normal perspective where we're chatting about individuals buying businesses, but we thought we'd cover today's session because we have a lot of acquirers who once they buy their first, they want to move on to the second or are questioning when it's appropriate to move on to the second, or we have a lot of companies that are considering growing through acquisition for the first time. So Eamon, start us off.
So growth through acquisition is quite different from an individual buying a company. And so we're going to highlight today some of the differences, some of the advantages, some of the drawbacks relative to trying to buy your first company. Again, this should help you plan out that roll-up strategy that you've got, or again, help individuals that already run a company in growing. So we're going to start with the benefits. So the first benefit that there is of a company buying another company versus an individual is that a lender and investor sees you as an operating company already. So you go from needing to rely on yourself as an individual, your experiences, the capital you bring to the table, but no pre-existing income because you're going to have to give up your job when you move in to run a company, to somebody that's already generating income and can apply that income to their acquisition. You've immediately got additional debt capacity or capacity to take on debt that an individual searcher doesn't have.
And you also have the capacity to consolidate some expenses.
Synergies are often a rationale for growth through acquisition. We'll touch on that one in the complexities and the potential drawbacks because they're often not as high as people think that they're going to be. The additional benefit would be strategic growth. So if you're in an industry where acquiring new clients is difficult, the cost of acquisition is very high, loyalty to existing providers is high, there's long-term contracts in place, you're finding that you just can't wait the 3 years to win that next client that's with your competitor. Growth through acquisition can actually be very attractive from that sense because you go out and buy a book of business instead of needing to win those clients one by one. Liz, any other advantages?
So diversification can be another common reason if you've got product concentration or employee concentration. You can do an acqui-hire to secure some top tier talent, or if you're struggling to hire in a certain industry, maybe you go acquire for the workforce or for that unique talent in the leadership layer. The other reasons to diversify product base, maybe you have product concentration or customer concentration, and you really need to expand in order for you to sell someday. And so you want to grow and diversify in order to build a more sellable business or portfolio for yourself someday.
Yeah, geographic concentration is another one we hear of. We already do this in one city. We want to move into another city. And so why not just go buy the incumbent there? Okay, sounds lovely. Sounds like everybody should be doing it. Let's touch on some of the drawbacks to growth through acquisition. So I highlighted debt capacity as one. If you are running a company that you acquired, you probably took on debt to make that acquisition happen in the first place. You may have given a personal guarantee to secure that loan. You may be working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to make that company run. So for a period of time after an acquisition, it actually can be more challenging to take on a second acquisition opportunity because you've already got debt, you've already got the time constraints, you've already got the complexities of trying to get into this one business, and maybe not the trust of the lenders and the investors to say, hey, I've done this successfully, let me go do it again. They may say, wait and see.
There's a lot of sensitivities around the second acquisition if you're short off your first one. So an integration plan is one of the other key factors, is building that integration plan. It's one of the common reasons why a lot of M&A transactions don't go as well as planned, is there's not that sort of sustainability in both organizations at the same time post-acquisition. And so leaving it for a period of time in your first acquisition, if you've done one, until things stabilize before you get into the second one. Because when you get into that second one and you're dealing with now the integration strategy, it's really important for the success of both companies now is that blend of talent and resources and sales and marketing and all of the things combined. So really having a strong 90, 100-day plan is really important for that second acquisition.
Yeah, and again, just be cautious. You may have a marketing team within your existing company, but when you go out and acquire another company, maybe the marketing strategy is different there. And so there's a lot of acquirers that kind of maybe naively think that their accounting teams can merge and you'll save on headcount. Their marketing teams can merge and you'll save on headcount sales. But if you don't really understand what the success factors are of your existing business and that other business, you may naively, again, assume that you're going to have these amazing cost savings when really what you've got is two different cultures, two different sets of overlapping tasks that are going to be more of a drag than they are of a tailwind.
Yep, absolutely. And the last point we'll make is capacity. So when growing through acquisition, it can take the CEO and president's time, but it can take multiple other team members' time going through due diligence and assessing fit and compatibility of that company. And not all teams have that capacity to devote to an acquisition or the budget to hire a corporate development team. So Village Wellth offers a search service for anyone that didn't know. We'd love to chat with you if you have need for this conversation. So as a rundown for today, growing through acquisition can lead to tremendous amount of opportunity through that diversification channel, additional borrowing power, but also having the risks. So in summary, Eamon, parting thoughts?
In summary, a lot of companies choose this path. And so if you're looking to pursue that path, there's lots more to learn, and we'll be covering that more in future segments.
Sessions. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to subscribe, follow us on social media, and check out our website at villagewellth.com.